Okay, in this video, I'm about to reveal 5 simple tips that are gonna help you look younger after 40. But I'm actually gonna get a little bit of help on this, so hold on a second. This is my wife. This is also my wife. Doesn't she look I can't even say that intro like that without getting slapped. She looks amazing without anything done, and all she's got right now is just her hair done with, well, and a change of clothes. No makeup, nothing is on the face yet. We will talk about some tips that actually include makeup here pretty soon, as well as skincare. And speaking of skincare, I do want to say a very quick thank you to City Beauty for sponsoring this video. We'll talk more about them in a minute. But with all of that said, she looks fantastic now, and she's gonna look even better here in just a minute. I can't say that either. This is so hard to say. She's gonna feel even more youthful and look even more amazing than she already does. Look, we're sharing 5 tips, and you're gonna look more youthful because you use these 5 tips. You're welcome. I feel like we just need to dive into tip number 1 before I get slapped.
Smart.
Before we dive in, there is kind of a little elephant in the room that I do want to make sure that we hit on. And that is simply that when I say younger after 40, or if you see that in my titling or in the thumbnail, I'm not talking about looking a certain age, okay? I have to use certain words for YouTube. It's kind of how it works. I'm referring to feeling the best and looking your best at whatever age you are. You're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Justin Hickox. I've been doing hair since 1995 professionally. So 2 of these will deal with hair, and then the other 3 will actually deal with skincare or makeup. All right, and tip number 1 to look more youthful after 40 is simply bringing your hair to the length necessary for its texture. People have a tendency to want to leave their length to a certain length or grow it to a certain length based on their desire to have that certain length, not taking into consideration that many times as we age, our hair texture changes. And when it changes, it sometimes means that it starts to look a little bit thinner towards the ends. I'm actually gonna show you on Deanna here. We're gonna take her over, and then what we're gonna do is actually bring her hair up to the length or close to the length that I think she should take, so that it actually supports internal layering, supports movement, and gives an overall strength to the bottom line to make her hair look healthier. Because at the end of the day, if your hair looks fuller and healthier, it's gonna give you overall a more youthful feel. This is gonna be pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna go ahead and just cut some of these ends off. Then we'll show you kind of a before and after of what that all looks like, and you'll have a better idea of why I think it's so important that we get those ends to wherever it's strongest. Okay, and now if you look here, you can see that while it's not a massive change, it does look a lot stronger. We didn't take a ton of length up, but what we did do was encourage a lot more density or appearance of density at that bottom line, even though we didn't go as far as I probably would have taken it to get it to look truly as thick as it could. But this has really opened our hands up to being able to do a lot more with layering and with creating more movement, creating more volume, and all the other things that are attributed to more of a kind of lively and fun style that ultimately give us that kind of youthful feel. Okay, tip number 2 is having your hair colored the right color. Okay, that isn't too descriptive really. So what you're gonna hear often is as we age, we should lighten our hair. And the reason behind that is because people think that if you lighten your hair, it matches the gray a little bit closer. And so the grow out isn't as dramatic. In some cases, you're not wrong there. That actually does hold some truth. But here's the problem. If you don't go light enough to get very close to the gray, it's still not really going to minimize the grow out. You're still gonna be left with a little bit of a line of demarcation. And what can actually happen is as you go lighter, depending on your skin tone, it could actually make you look more washed out. Oftentimes I find that adding a little bit of richness and depth back to the hair does 2 things. 1, it will make it look thicker because dark hair has a tendency to look more dense than blonde hair. And 2, it can give your skin tone more richness. Sometimes it simply means adding some lowlights into your hair to kind of 1, make the blonde pop a little bit more, 2, minimize some of that line of demarcation, and 3, give it overall more dimension, which can actually bring out more depth in your skin tone. Okay, tip number 3, this is actually something that's extremely important that a lot of, especially guys, miss. And that is skincare. I really did not take skincare too seriously until recently, but at the end of the day, it becomes extremely important. We actually learned from another good friend of ours named Glam Girl Gabby. I don't know if you've ever seen any of her videos, but if you haven't, I'll put a link in the description where you can find her as well. She swears up and down by City Beauty, and that's when, even though, if I'm completely honest, I'm a little skeptical about this kind of stuff, I was like, okay, let's listen to her, let's give it a shot. Okay, so we tried it last night, honestly. You guys, Just hold. So here's the tips. So this does relate to what I talk about a lot on my channel. I a lot of times will talk about what's the most flattering shape. And when I talk about things that are more flattering, it usually has to do with accentuating certain things about our face shapes. For instance, lifting cheekbones or drawing more emphasis to cheek structure, bringing the eye up the shape. These particular little products that we have found here, they do all of those things. Okay, so there are 3 products that we got from City Beauty that we're big fans of. And the first was called
Lid Lifting Treatment.
So last night, she did one eye, and I didn't know she was applying it. I was like, I don't know about this. And I looked at her, and only half of her face had it. And, well, here are the before and afters of that. Yeah, what? I couldn't believe it. So all you're doing is just dabbing on around your eyelid.
Just a little bit.
So not only is it going to help lift, it also helps hydrate. Here, let me try it too then. Let me put a little bit on. So I just, like this, all right? So you just dab it on.
Just dab. Just dabby dab dab.
See, this is what guys need to do that guys don't do. Eyelid to the eyebrow.
Eyelid to the eyebrow.
Now, one of the things that I've been reading about on this, and this is probably the reason that so many people love this stuff, they're all very moisturizing, which is super important. I'm not even big on skincare, and even I recognize the importance of moisture. And what's the next one?
All right, so the next one is the line blurring wrinkle filler. So this, you just pump it, and then you just dab it on your wrinkles, and it's supposed to blur them. So kind of like a filter.
So this actually has a they call it a micronized diamond powder that actually diffuses the light from the wrinkles. So it doesn't allow the shadows to be created from these little crevasses on the wrinkles, right? So that's part of how it like camouflages them.
Okay, so it blurs them out, okay.
Yeah, so it's the perfect thing to throw on before you add on your makeup. I already see it in your eyes. Do you not see? I already see it. The last one is City Lips. Show me how it works.
Okay, so it's just like any lip gloss. So it feels really hydrating.
So while it's plumping your lips, it's also adding moisture in your lips. So if you have dry lips, it's
my lips are always dry.
Let's move on. Let's move on to the.
Your turn.
Let's move on to the next one.
I say you just do it on half of your lips.
No, I have a rest of video to film.
Oh, I need to do it.
I feel like we don't. I feel like.
Pucker up, buttercup.
Okay, at least let me do it. I don't know how this is gonna turn out well.
It's gonna be great.
You sure?
Yep. It's gonna be
great.
Are
you sure? This is not, okay. Okay.
It looks like this isn't your first time applying lip gloss. You're like a pro. Never mind. You're plumping.
Already.
Ooh, pouty.
Wow.
It's so pouty.
There's no way I'm doing the rest of the video like this. Women like big lip.
And they cannot lie.
I can't see, but I can imagine right now. You're not even gonna be able to take me seriously now. For the rest of the video, I'm gonna be like, okay.
I wanna thank City Beauty for this alone.
So yeah, if you guys wanna learn more about this, you definitely should. If you go down, there's actually a link in the description that you can use where you can find these products. And there's actually a coupon code down there as well where you can save 15%. And actually, if you use that between May 26th and May 30th, you'll save 30%. That is not a bad deal.
I like a deal.
And yeah, we're fans. Go check them out below. And while I've got this going on, let's see if you can take me seriously for the next tip. Okay, tip number 4, I can still feel this. Tip number 4, you should change your makeup with your hair color. More often than not, as we age, we change our hair color, right? You'll either go lighter, or maybe you're even going a little bit darker, or maybe you're allowing your hair to turn gray. Regardless of how you change your hair, it is important that you recognize that your makeup should change its tone to work better with your hair color. Maybe you've been growing your hair out and now it's gray. Have your makeup done and have the makeup artist work with your new hair color. You have a whole new palette. You agree?
Yeah.
You
I do. I agree. I can't get over it. I can't stop looking at your lips. I'm so happy.
Tip number 5 is swapping out powder makeup for
cream makeup.
Now, how long did you use powder makeup?
Oh gosh, probably for the first 43, 45 years of my life.
How old are you now?
I'm 40, almost 48.
Don't look a day over 30.
I always loved powder because it covered everything. It was great. But then I started noticing as I got older, my skin started looking more dull. And so I find that with the cream makeup, it kind of brings back some of that moisture. So my skin looks a little bit more glowy without looking greasy.
I think that's a big thing. It kind of hits back on the whole skincare thing, right? We use City Beauty. We get into some skincare. We're actually getting moisture back into the face. But then on top of that, this helps. What I've noticed is I feel like it helps your face look more moisturized.
Yes. And they say that cream isn't supposed to sit in the wrinkles like a powder will. Yeah, I love it. And it's easy because I'm all about ease and convenience. I've never been one to contour, But I did learn a good tip that if you want to bring your cheek structure up and out, like you always talk about, to not put your contour down here inside the hollows of your cheeks, but to actually bring it up. Okay. And then you actually put your blush on top. So typically in my 30s, I would have put my blush right here. Now I'm putting it kind of on top of the cheekbone versus on the cheekbone.
And there you go. Simple as that. With a little bit of mascara, cheat code, she did go put a little bit of mascara on. There is that. But see, I think she looks amazing. She looks almost as fabulous as my lips do right now. So there's that. But you can see here's the before and after of all of the little things all put together to create this remarkable masterpiece that is my wife. Aww. And my lips.
Star of the show.
I can't see them, but I can feel them. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they are large and in charge Marge.
They're large and in charge Marge.
So thank you again, City Beauty. No, in all honesty, you guys absolutely make sure you check out City Beauty. The link is in the description below. The stuff works. It's as simple as that. Gabby was not wrong and she was not lying. It is legit. So definitely check them out. The link will actually send you to a page where you just throw in that little coupon code and find yourself 15% off, unless you're there between the 26th and the 30th of May, which you'll actually receive 30% off. You guys have a fantastic day. I appreciate you hanging out with both of us, dealing with this. I feel like this might be not a bad idea. Guys, maybe this isn't bad. Maybe just not this color.
Maybe just start a new trend.
Maybe not glossy.
Maybe.
Can we do like a matte finish?
That's true.
Maybe, because the gloss looks a little, this is a bit much, but you know, maybe not so bad.
I enjoyed it.
I'm glad you did. So did everybody else. All right. Have a great day. We'll see you next week.